Hey guys, welcome to That Conundrum. This is going to be an advice channel for gamers. Advice not just in regards to game, but in regards to life, the universe, and everything, as it were. In this particular edition, I'm just going to kind of talk about Modern Warfare 3 a little bit, because it's my favorite game at the moment. But I do have a lot of experience in a lot of other genres of games. Used to be a huge console player when I was little. So any kind of question you might have, I would like you to submit to thatconundrum@gmail.com. Right now I don't have any questions, so I'm pretty much just going to talk about what I want to talk about. So what I want to talk about in this particular game, this is a game where I did well, not because I'm the best shooter in the universe, but because I understand where I can be at any given time. I like to call it my ABCs. The different types of area: avenues, alleys, corners, and dead zones. An avenue is like a main area that people run through in the game. So, for example, I'm going to pause it here. On this particular map, that tunnel and the route around the tunnel and through those arches, that's an avenue. A lot of people run through that way to get over to here. Alleys, on the other hand, are less traveled routes that still get you where you need to go. So I've got my back up to an alley at the moment, the little tunnel that runs under the level. Corners are where I am right now. They don't get you anywhere, just a nice place to hide, be out of the way. And a dead zone, for example here, is a wide open space where if you're standing there, you're pretty at risk of getting shot to death. And in this particular game, I made a fairly good use, I think, of these areas, and I would like to tell you when and in what circumstances you can be in different areas. In this particular match, I'm running with the M14. This gives me a good ability to cover avenues and alleys. It's not very good for corners because it's not very good for close combat. And if you're getting into a fight in a corner, you want something that can shoot at a very close range very rapidly and does a lot of damage up close. So it's not the best weapon for that. But as you can see here, I'm watching a lot of alleys and avenues. I'm also checking a few dead zones occasionally without going into them. It's very important that you not get into an area you can't handle in these games. A lot of the reason people die is because they run out into the open with their SMG or something, or try to fight in an enclosed space with a sniper rifle. It's just not going to work. I mean, you might get lucky now and then, but your weapon's not designed for that. You probably shouldn't be doing it. In this case, I do occasionally get into close quarters fights, but as you can see, I'm trying to keep my eye on the long alleyways. I'm trying to cover areas that my weapon is suited for. But now, having run out of ammo and pretty much being stuck to a pistol, I can't cover those long avenues anymore. So I go back into these kind of smaller, tighter areas to try to cover people and render support in that manner. I also have an AH-6 up at the moment. It's very important to try to get your AH-6 to hover over dead zones and avenues, because they're not very good at shooting into alleys or, shooting in any area where there's a lot of cover. You want to try to keep them hovering over areas with no cover. The Juggernaut in this game is actually a really interesting addition. I've played a lot of the Call of Duty games, in fact all of them. And the Juggernaut encourages the player to go into dead zones. You can't run out into the open willy-nilly as a Juggernaut, but you can afford to cover and walk into a dead zone in a Juggernaut suit that you can't normally walk into when you're just in your normal kit. So in this case, having picked up the Juggernaut and seeing that there's nobody covering this particular area, I kind of walk into the dead zone a little bit, check to see if there are any people in the direction of those gunfire blips I'm seeing up on the mini-map, and generally just covering a similar area. But as you can see now, I'm walking much more in the open because I can afford to, because I have 10 times the health that I would if I were in a Juggernaut suit. In this particular game, I don't actually die in this game, and because this Juggernaut lasts me out the round, and that's a mistake I see a lot of people do when they have the Juggernaut suit, is you're not invulnerable. Like right here, I almost died, and I need to go and hide for a little bit. If you've taken some hits, you still need to get to cover when you're a Juggernaut. You can't just pretend you're invulnerable, or it's going to be a waste of kill streak. Especially the Scout Juggernaut is really good if you don't get too far away from your team, and sometimes that's not really possible. because your team gets away from you. But, you know, try to stay with your team. Try to cover alleys that, you know, when that's what your weapon is suited to, avenues, etc., etc. So anyway, this is winding down here, and I hope that you guys can get some questions to me in the near future. I would very much like to get this channel going, get some advice out to you guys, both for your own lives and your own gaming lives. And I hope to see you in the near future with a bunch of questions in my inbox. Thank you for watching. Bye.